Hello, YouTube. This is Josh with Beyond Photography
Ben, bilingual.
and special welcome to every one of you tonight. And we have a great live for you tonight. We're going to be talking about the Nikon Z6 controversies going on, as well as channel updates.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff we want to go over tonight. As Josh has said, the Nikon Z6 controversy. It's not like controversial in a sense that oh, there's something inappropriate about it or whatever. But it's more of there's been a lot of talk around the photography community concerning the Z6, and really what it comes down to is it really good or is it bad? Is there bad attributes to the camera? Well, absolutely. But tonight we're kind of dispel some of the, should I say, myths of the camera that people claim it's a bad camera, whether that's for autofocus or whatever. So that's kind of what we're going over tonight. But we got a few things we want to go over first. Obviously, before we get into the Z6. So what are we talking about?
Well, let's talk about some things. First off, I know a lot of you have been asking about what's my status with my GED, and I want to say I've got 2 tests down out of the 4, and I'm going to be taking one next month in February. So let's hope I do good with that. And the plan is knock that out and be done by the end of June.
What tests do you have left? What's the?
Let's see. Well, we're in the GED. You're to cover history, language arts, math, and science. I've knocked out history and language arts, so I'm going to go for science this next month in February, and then finish up with math in June, because everybody doesn't like math.
Nice. So that's good, man. That's good. Are you enjoying doing school and stuff like that, or?
I admit it can be tough at times, with the environment per se, with a lot of people and stuff. But yeah, school's been doing good.
Good. It's always good. School is important, kids, so stay in school.
Exactly.
As you can all see, we're on the new set. So if you watched my Z6 initial review, which is up on my channel, our channel, just go search Nikon Z6 initial review by Bilingual, and that's where you can find it at. This is the new set. This is kind of like, I took where we were sitting originally, which was over here, which is where, my bed and everything's at. And basically what I did was I took this and twisted the camera around and added some LED lights back here, and that's kind of what's going on with the new set. So anyway, that's the new set we're on. So you can see there is a red light behind us, and yeah, so that's kind of fun. It's kind of a new change. I called it quote unquote season 3, if you will, of our channel set wise.
I like it.
Yeah, because we did the black background before, which wasn't really working for us.
No.
It was too shimmery. Is that the right term? It was kind of shiny and
Yeah,
it just looked cheap. And,
yeah.
And then we went to this set over here where it's just basically, in front of my beds, which looked okay. Had a lamp behind me. And then now we're here and we got the LEDs. And hopefully over time, the set will keep improving and all of that. So anyway, we have some great milestones we want to talk about tonight.
We do.
Number 1 being our subscriber count. So you want to go a little bit over that? Got some exciting news about subscribers.
Well, how many do we have at right now? You know what? Don't even tell me. Let's go ahead and check.
He's got to check it out.
I gotta check it out. With everything going on in school, I haven't been able to keep up with the channel as much. All right, it looks like we're at 2,051.
Wow.
2,051.
2K.
2K.
Primo 420. That's right. Yeah, so thank you all so much. A little over a year and 4 or 5 months ago, about a year and a half, we had no intentions. Move Nikon out of the way here. We had no intentions of growing this quickly, and we realized that some channels grow really fast and others grow really slow, depending on what the content is, how frequent you upload, etc., etc. But we're really blessed and we're really thankful for all of you who have stuck around for this 1.5-year journey with us, and we hope you continue to stick around because we're still trying to produce content that's relevant for you and to you. And so that would be so awesome if you guys stick around and invite your friends to come subscribe to us as well, because we want obviously more subscribers. Get the word out about Bilingual's channel. anything helps, guys. So yeah, we're really thankful. So thank you all so much.
And my plan is soon as I can get out of school to start trying to get more content out there, keep up with the channel.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a minute. So you're going to be getting or trying to get soon the Canon M50.
Yeah.
And you're going to be filming videos at your house to be uploaded on the channel. So kind of what's your roadmap, if you will? What are you kind of looking to produce for the channel?
I think maybe for my end, instead of getting into the more per se techie stuff, I'll give more of like the advice part. Talk one-on-one with you guys.
Some tips.
Give you some tips, my thoughts. Kind of like that thing, answer questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of my perspective how I want to do. Since you're bigger on the tech and specs and all that, I'm more like just looking the camera.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good balance,
Yeah.
where we have me kind of, and originally I wanted to do a lot of more tips, but recently within, this time of year, cold weather, all of that,
crazy
it's
work
kind of hard to
schedules.
get out and, do tip videos because we don't typically have a lot of shoots during the winter time.
No.
So I've been doing a lot more tech reviews recently, gear reviews, gear hauls, whatever you want to call them. So it'll be a nice balance where I can kind of focus on that and you can start focusing on doing the tips and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll still produce tips. We'll do like tip videos together as well. But that's kind of where we're at. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of what's going on with the channel. What do we have lined up for the next few months? We kind of got some videos we've been working on.
Yeah, we have that. Of course.
We did some shoots that we're gonna make into videos. You want to talk a little bit about those?
If you mean our most recent one where we were, was it Giant City Park or something like that?
Yeah.
Ben was shooting the client, and I was doing more of a behind the scenes video montage. So while he's off here shooting the client, I'll be, moving around, getting different angle photos as well as video to kind of give you guys a look behind what goes on in a photo session.
Yeah. So yeah, we got some behind the scenes stuff that we're working on as well. I've got more gear reviews. Where's the video? Are you referring to the, what do you, I'm not sure what you, I think they mean.
That's some hot tea.
Yeah. We got our lemon ginger tea here. Stash brand if you want some.
Here's proof. If you're talking about the live stream, I'm monitoring it on my phone right now.
I can't see the stream.
Well, let me go ahead and try refreshing here and see what we got going. Of course. Ads.
We've got an ad before our stream. That's nice.
This is what you get for not paying for YouTube Premium.
Getting monetization. Yeah, we're good on our end.
Yeah, see?
So I don't know what's going on your end. But anyway, so so we're going to be doing those behind the scenes shoots, editing those into videos. And so we're going to be doing that type of stuff as well. And so, yeah, we're really looking forward to that. So, anyway.
And of course, I'm planning on trying to do more behind the scenes video on our next portrait sessions or things like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like on somebody's end here, we've got some technical difficulties. But on Josh's end, we've got it just fine. So we're not going to worry about it. So anyway, yeah, that's what's going on. Sorry, guys. Seems like we always have some weird technical difficulty when it comes to YouTube. So anyway,
it's what you get for living in Southern Illinois, not like someplace like I don't know, Los Angeles.
Yeah, the stupid internet around here is just absolutely garbage.
Of course, blame the trees.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So that's the thing. That's what we're working on right now. Is all of that. So we're really looking forward to doing that for you guys, and hopefully you will watch that. So okay, we did pretty much the brief channel update and all of that. Now let's get to the main subject of tonight's live stream. which is the Nikon Z6 controversy. Oh, ooh, okay. All right, so here's what I got. Okay. And so it has the FTZ adapter on it. I've been using this. And so anyway, this is the Nikon Z6. And I've just really been enjoying using this camera. This is basically the first mirrorless camera I've ever owned. And so anyway, I've just really enjoyed this. And I'm looking forward to... Let's see. Henry says... Sorry, guys. Henry says, you guys, this video is horrible. How can you produce a video about the Z6 and produce this garbage? Lightning, white balance, etc. sucks.
Well, perfect example.
Lightning, white balance.
Controversy, where two people, yourself versus him, and other people like it versus those who don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, by the way, this is a live stream, professional, quote unquote, production. So we're not trying to go for that.
No, and of course,
Look,
you're all welcome to your comments.
Yeah, and and that's
it's open. It's for anybody.
And of course, eventually we will improve on that. So it's not.
I mean,
it's not that big of a
everybody can like the same product.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, and they're talking about our live stream quality. I'm actually live streaming on the new iPad Pro, so it's just a less extensive setup, and the auto white balance. Well, naturally the iPad does it by itself. It's trying to figure out white balance anyway.
And like we said in previous, trying different equipment setups, so we're trying the iPad this time.
Yeah, but I mean, as time goes on, we will improve the stream quality and whatever. So we don't worry about it. If you don't like it, well, you don't have to watch it. Anyway, back to the Nikon Z6. So basically, the Nikon Z6 is one of the newest mirrorless cameras on the market. This is pretty much, besides the Canon EOS R and all of that, but this is indeed the... I'm not going to say the best. It's not the best mirrorless camera on the market at all. You can't really say that, okay? But it is one of, in my opinion, the best full-frame mirrorless cameras on the market currently today. And so there's been a lot of controversy recently coming around this camera. Some of the biggest YouTuber channels when it comes to photography have uploaded their reviews, which are, one thing, ridiculously long. And so this thing right here has come into controversy because, as you can see, it looks controversial. No, I'm just kidding. What it is that they claim that the Z6 has terrible autofocus, terrible white balance control, consistent white balance, especially in the auto area. And they also claim that the other thing that they don't like is that the IBIS, or the in-body image stabilization, is really bad in this camera, kind of jerky, kind of flaky. And so I released my review, and literally a day or so later, one of the bigger YouTube channels, actually I believe it's the bigger YouTube channel, one of the biggest YouTube channels for photography on the market, released their review. And I've got to say that it was kind of a controversial video because a lot of people commented on it and they were like, what are you talking about? They were saying in the review that basically the white balance was really bad, the auto white balance, the IBIS was really bad, as I mentioned, and the autofocus was inconsistent. Basically, they alluded as if it was unusable.
Yeah, to me, it seems like it's already got a pretty bad enough negative impact on it that I wouldn't want to buy something like that.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I mean, that's going to be with every camera.
Yeah, of course.
You're going to have flaky features and whatever. But they were acting like that this was basically the worst camera on the market. The worst mirrorless camera on the market. That's basically how they were advertising this thing.
I kind of find it hard to believe since Nikon is one of the top leading brand camera names out there.
Yeah, and let's be clear. Nikon is, basically Nikon is not excused from any type of flack or anything like that. I will give this camera flack if I find something that's really not good on it. But let's be 100% clear. I shot with this thing professionally in Houston, Texas. Okay.
Okay.
When I shot with it, I used all kinds of autofocus modes, whether that was the continuous autofocus mode or that was, other things as well, like the single shot autofocus mode, single point, and AFS and all of that, okay? Low light, good lighting situations, silent shutter even I use from time to time. I had no problems with the camera. My autofocus was hitting probably about 95% of the time, which is super solid, especially considering I was only using adapted lenses. Now, there are 3 main lenses that have come out for the Nikon Z6 already, which is basically the 35-1.8, the 50-1.8, and the 24-70 f4. So anyway,
So tell me, just for a question for those who are wondering what mirrorless is, what can you tell me? Say, what advantages you have over a DSLR versus a mirrorless?
yeah, so let's get into that a little bit. Okay, so number one, as the name implies, a mirrorless camera does not have a mirror. A traditional DSLR has a mirror, and that mirror, when light goes through there, reflects off the mirror up into a prism, okay, through the viewfinder. There's a prism in a viewfinder, and that image is reflected back to you, okay? In a mirrorless camera, here's what happens. There's essentially a little screen inside the viewfinder. We call this an EVF, an electronic viewfinder. And basically what that allows you to do is actually see your exposure in real time through the viewfinder. Whereas with the DSLR, the optical viewfinder, you just see what's coming through the lens, and that's it. You have no control over what your final exposure is going to be in terms of seeing it before you take the picture. Obviously, you go off your exposure meter and all of that, and you do for these two. But anyway, this gives you a accurate representation of what your image will look like, okay?
So it's basically a live feed going into your camera.
Practically. Now, there are some disadvantages to using this camera, and I'm glad that one of the things this controversial review, should I say, did not mention is the fact that the viewfinder is I'm glad they didn't say it was a bad viewfinder, because it really is honestly one of the best viewfinders I've ever used on a mirrorless camera. So I'm really happy with the viewfinder. So anyway, using this camera professionally has been really, really good. And just to be clear, the mirrorless system is kind of an upcoming system in the photography world. There are some people who are starting to make the switch. So some are going to Sony, okay, while others are basically, using others like Panasonic and all of those systems as well. So the mirrorless system is new to Nikon. This is actually Nikon's first full-frame mirrorless. It's not their first mirrorless camera, but their first full-frame mirrorless camera. Now, obviously, you can go check out my review for sample images and all that from this camera, but I'm just going to tell a little bit about my experience with it. So number one, as I said, kind of sad considering it's one of the top end DSLRs on the market right now. But anyway, using this thing, I was shooting all kinds of lighting situations, all kinds of different tracking situations as well. I was tracking different subjects and different people, whether they were walking towards me or moving side to side or whatever. And so anyway, that's kind of what was going on with this camera. I was getting to use it in those different situations, and it was really a great time. Now, I will say on the video side of it, unfortunately, the video side of it is not as good as I had hoped. It's good. It's way better than anything Nikon has released so far, but it's definitely not something that, in my opinion, yet competes with the Sony A7 III or whatever.
So this would go both ways,
Yeah.
It's better along the lines of photography use.
Yeah.
But for video use, it's not the best quality to par.
Yeah, and I mean, look, okay, if you're gonna use Nikon and you're gonna go into video, this is it. I mean, this is the camera you want to get, okay? However, if you're not going for Nikon or whatever and you're just looking for video, well, there are much better options on the market, in my opinion, for, that specific field. However, it's still way better than I had anticipated, but unfortunately, still not great. But once again, I'm only using F-mount lenses right now, so that could also be, I could also see a difference in performance with the native Z-mount lenses. So we'll see. Once I get my hands on one of those, we'll see how those do. But the F-mount, they don't do as great as I had hoped.
So, in terms of prices, what are we kind of looking here for this camera? What's the price range on it?
Okay, so in my opinion, this camera is not a bad value. Some people would argue it is a bad value. I can't remember in the videos that I've been talking about, the reviews, if they mention the value, if it's good or bad. But anyway, I think it's a pretty decent value. It pretty much competes with all the major full-frame mirrorless cameras on the market, including the Sony a7 III in most areas. So $2,000 for the camera, I'm okay with that. It is $2,000. If you want the FTZ adapter with it, it's going to run you about $2,150.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want the FTZ adapter, the camera, and the 24-70 f4 kit lens, it's going to run you, I believe, around $2,700 or $2,600 or something along those lines. So if you want like a full kit, $2,600.
Kind of pricey.
It's a little pricey, but like I said, it does compete with like Sony a7 III and all of those type of cameras. So anyway.
But you would say in the end, pretty much worth the savings for it?
Mm-hmm. For sure. But I did just want to dispel some of the myths about the Z6. It's not bad. The autofocus is really good on it. I'm not sure why they had such different results than I did. I don't know. I don't know how they were shooting the camera, what settings they were using. But it's still a phenomenal camera. Also, on the video side, when it comes to the IBIS, they were saying the IBIS looks bad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've had really none of the same problems that they did with the IBIS. And I actually am working on a video now, should be up this week, doing an IBIS test with this camera, so you can actually see that I really have not got the same results that they were getting. Now, I believe they were using the native Z-mount lens, whereas I am using the F-mount, so I don't know how much that has to do with it. But just being clear, I have not had any IBIS issues, no wonky, warpy, distorted looks that they were getting. Okay. So, yeah.
So, I kind of have a more personal question for you, right?
Uh-oh. Okay.
So, in the event we get a wedding in the future, how confident are you going to use that as your primary camera?
Primary camera?
Yes.
Not primary.
Not primary.
Now, that's not saying that it can't be a primary camera. Don't get me wrong. It's perfectly capable of doing that. In my opinion, it's better than the D750 by a pretty decent margin. So, other than, you only have one card slot, but other than that, so and many people shoot the D750 as their main wedding photography cameras. So, I would have no problem shooting with this as my main, but I have a D850. That's my main go-to. That's my high-end professional DSLR. So that's my main. This will be a great secondary and backup camera. So, but yeah, would I shoot with it as a main camera? Absolutely. In fact, I would shoot with two of them. So, I mean, whatever you want to do.
So per se, in event photography, like weddings, you would go to D850 over that.
Yeah.
So would you recommend this sort of camera for a hobbyist who likes to go out on weekends or during the week and go just shoot whatever?
Absolutely. I mean, if it's a hobby for you, like if you're not trying to make any money at all, even if you're not quote unquote a professional photographer, it's a little bit of a deep investment for just a hobby camera. I would look at maybe like an APS-C camera if you're going to it for a hobby. Now, if you're going to it for a career or like you want to try to make money with it, sure. Great camera indeed. Okay, look, if you have the money and you just want it, I mean, it's your money, go ahead and buy it, but if someone asked me, would you recommend this as a hobby camera? I've got to honestly say, not really. I don't think it's worth
For yourself at least.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth the deep investment of $2,000 or more you're going to make into it, especially if you're only taking pictures of like butterflies or whatever you're going to be doing. So
I don't know. Some butterflies pictures are impressive.
that's true. The macros are killer.
That is true. I mean, I'm sure I'll get to maybe that sometime in the future, but currently I'm pretty happy with my D750 I just newly got.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a little bit. So we pretty much addressed the Z6 stuff. So let's talk about your D750 for a minute, man. You got a D750.
It was shortly after, what, it was our third, maybe second wedding? I can't remember. I believe I used it on the most recent wedding, and that was a real game changer for me. I shot with that, or at least I think I might have rented it for the event. But anyhow, the 750 was mind-blowing, especially in our low light situation in the main hall, where they're having the reception. I can remember we were both freaking out because it was low light, plus it was paint going around, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to our advantage, it did have a kind of like sheet metal roof.
Mm-hmm.
So when we used our flashes, it refracted the light. So refracted? Or it reflected.
Off the white wall.
Right? Came back down and came up with pretty smooth picture for low light.
Yeah.
And which I was pretty impressed with the D750. Which I used, the 50 millimeter on there, the 1.4G.
Mm-hmm.
And that was stunning. Like, I was pretty impressed with the shots I was getting because I've been used to shooting with the 7100. Even with 50 millimeter, it could still only go to a certain ISO.
Mm-hmm.
But with the 750, it went even lower.
You mean f-stop?
F-stop.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Sometimes I get those mixed up.
Yeah, they're easy to get mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. And the D750 is still a phenomenal camera, by the way.
It is.
If you're looking for a great camera on the market, go with the D750. If you don't want to get the mirrorless and you don't want to get high resolution DSLR like the D850 or D810, go with the D750, dude. It's insane. Low light performance on the camera is ridiculous.
If you're gonna get it, at least get it on sale. Because what I did was only about $1,500, $1,600, somewhere around there.
Yep. So you got it for $1,500, and you got the battery grip with it.
The battery grip and the bag.
Yep.
The rugged case bag, which is it's really awesome.
Yeah, I mean you got a
I got a killer deal on it.
Yeah, you got a steal.
Came with everything.
Yeah. So the D750, you got that. Let's see. The wedding we shot was in March, was it?
No, it was February.
It was February.
It was February because it was cold out.
Mm-hmm. So last February, you got the. Did you get it or did we rent it? We rented it.
We rented it, and we shared it back and forth.
Yeah,
that's what we did. Because I was still using the.
Well, no, I had my own.
You had your own, but I was still using my 7100 at the time, and then we shared the D750, and then after that, with the investment we got from that, I used that money to invest towards the 750.
Yeah, to buy it.
Which I got, I think, a few months later in summer.
Yeah, it was over the summer. I think it was like July or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you did use that camera at the wedding, and yeah, you were absolutely stunned.
I loved it.
Yeah. It was basically the Nikon's equivalent to the 5D Mark III, is what many people would call it, which, as many of you know, the 5D Mark III is one of Canon's best cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's pretty impressive. And in some ways, it did better in video. Of course, it didn't have like dual pixel autofocus or anything like that, but it still, quality-wise, did very well for video, too. So you kind of hit it out of the park with that camera, photo and video-wise.
I still love that camera.
You know what sucks is that we were actually filming a behind-the-scenes of that wedding to, make a video about it, and
we ran out of time.
We ran out of time because there was so much stuff going on, and we were like, yeah, this is not going to work out, because we had to, get taking pictures and whatever.
In turn, it turned out to be the best wedding we've ever had.
It was.
Not had, shot. That we Yeah, you get what I'm trying to go.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm telling you guys, the lighting during that wedding was just so stinking awesome. I mean, they had basically
Well, we couldn't have asked for a more perfect day.
yeah,
Granted,
beautiful
it was
day.
cold out, but it was overcast, right?
Yeah,
Not too overcast, but overcast enough to make it turn out, so we wouldn't have constant sun glare per se.
yeah. So exactly. So we didn't have glare. And we also, it wasn't like you said, it wasn't so bright that we had harsh shadows on the faces.
And it wasn't too dark as well.
Yeah, and so it was a perfectly overcast day, which, by the way, if you're doing portraits outside and you're not using flash, overcast is normally what you want to go for because you're going to have even shadows across the face and all of that, so you definitely want to look for that type of lighting. But it was a beautiful day, and the venue was awesome.
It was.
The what's the place called where they have the the reception hall.
Reception hall, yeah. It was
It was beautiful, dude.
the garden or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They had a garden.
I'm gonna Google it.
You're gonna Google it.
I'm gonna Google it. I have a knack for googling things.
So anyway, the reception hall, it had big windows, so light got let in. We got this beautiful soft light on like the the different things, the flowers that they had on each table, and the menus and all that kind of stuff, the napkins and everything. By the way, hi Chad. I don't know if I said hi already, but anyway, it was just beautiful day, beautiful venue, and of course a great time shooting that wedding. That was still to date our best wedding. We're hoping to have some weddings lined up this summer, but we'll see what happens. So
the wedding garden at the Garden Grove, I
the
think.
wedding garden at the Garden Grove.
Yeah, it's in Carbondale.
Wow. Yeah, so it was guys, I'm telling you, that's the kind of weddings you want to look for. Perfect lighting. We like outdoor weddings. We get way better lighting in our opinion than outdoor, unless it's like a big church with like big windows letting in a lot of light. Outdoor weddings are the way to go for sure. And if you're looking for a great camera to shoot at those weddings, here you go, the Z6 or the D750 or the D850 or whatever.
I want to go ahead and say hi to Tesla Chad.
Tesla Chad.
Tesla Chad. Hi to you.
Oh my gosh, dude. I totally forgot. We're going to talk about something really exciting we're starting.
Oh.
We got on that tangent about that wedding. We went for like 7 minutes talking about that.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Okay. Well, we got some very exciting news, and maybe I should get some of the equipment to show people what's going on.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me get it. We got some exciting news. Maybe you can figure out what we're doing once I show you what I got.
Consider it a sneak peek into the future.
A little sneaky peeky.
It's really exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're super excited.
Yeah, we are super excited. It is going to blow people's minds.
Okay.
Alright, can you guess what this is?
I've got a bag.
And it's from Rode.
And it's from Rode. And if you know anything about Rode, you know it is a mostly audio company. So they do microphones and mic stands, mic cables, all that kind of stuff.
I have one. It is I believe they call it the shotgun mic that you attach to the top of your camera here, and then just input the audio cable into here.
Side, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's inside this bag, you ask? It's a microphone. It's the Rode Procaster. And if you know anything about the Rode Procaster, my life, procrastinating. The Procaster, okay? This microphone is mostly used for two things. Voiceovers, okay? And podcasts.
Podcasts.
Out of the two, which one do you think we're doing?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of voiceover videos on YouTube. I'm thinking maybe voiceovers?
Not necessarily. I mean, we may do some with our tutorial videos for Photoshop. But we are starting a podcast. The podcast is going to be fun. We're really excited about it. We do not have a name for it yet, but I was telling Josh tonight when we kind of had our pre-meeting for the live, when we do the podcast is going to be all about creators, specifically YouTube creators. I've got some friends who are YouTube creators, some decently big, others, pretty much our size. And we're going to be interviewing different creators on this podcast. And like I said, we don't have a name for it, but we're super excited about it.
The Bilingual Podcast.
Yeah, and we were kind of tossing around, should we do it all about photography? Should we not? What should we do it about?
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, you know what? I want to talk to creators. I want to talk to YouTube creators, people who are doing this, whether it's for a hobby or a full-time job or whatever. I just want to, kind of fill them out. Learn their story, how they became a YouTuber, why they're a YouTuber.
Trying to get insight from them, pros and tips about what stuff we could do.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff they could learn from us, per se.
Yeah, exactly. And we want you to be a part of it.
Oh, looks like we got a first candidate, Tesla Chad.
Yeah. What does he say?
He says, mind if I get on an episode?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we'll have Chad for sure on an episode of the unnamed podcast, whatever it's going to be. Anyway, yeah, so we got the Rode Procasters that we're going to be using. We got 2 right now. We have ordered the Rode Rodecaster. That's a tongue twister. The Rode Rodecaster Pro, which is their new mixing console for podcast creators. And so we're still waiting on that to come in. We kind of got in late on the ordering process, so we'll probably see that within the next week or so, hopefully. But anyway, we're looking forward to starting the podcast, interviewing creators, new creators, existing creators, all of that as well. But like I said, we want you to be a part of it. So if you have a certain niche that you want to talk about, or you have a channel you want to talk about, please send us an email. You can check out our email in one of our videos. Just go to the description. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
But it is blphotographysi@gmail.com. So send us an email. We'd love to have you on the podcast, whether it's in studio, via Skype, via phone call, whatever. We're just super, super excited about the podcast. What do you think? Are you excited?
I'm excited. You know, this reminds me of something funny from last live stream we had. I can't remember who it was who made the comment, but we're not going to be using socks anymore.
That's right.
At least for the podcast, at least.
And I should add, too, that these mics will be used for our live streams once we get the mixer. Because we can use it as an audio interface. So that will definitely improve the audio for sure, at least in that end of the video world. So yeah, the podcast. We're really excited about the podcast. And I just can't wait to see who we get on it. I've got a friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a pretty big following, so I'm hoping to get him in on the fun and have him do a video, or not a video, but a podcast with us. And then like Tesla Chad, we're going to have him on. He is a gaming channel. And so basically what he does is his niche is kind of in the GameCube area, which is really unique.
Really? They still got those around?
Well, they don't sell them anymore like new necessarily.
Right.
But you can buy them used or whatever, buy the games or whatever. And so he'll be a fun one to have on the podcast. Then I have a friend, she's just starting a YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I want to talk to her, and I want to talk, what's her passion, why she's starting it, what's it for. So I'm really, really excited about that. So I'm looking forward to doing this podcast, man. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. I'm still surprised they have a GameCube now, because with all the technology progressing, it seems like GameCube is a thing of the past.
Yeah. Another guy we got, Primo420, who's on here right now, dude. He has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he does.
And it's all about medical cannabis. He has a real passion for it. He has a passion for helping individuals. So we would love to have him on as well. So anyway, it's going to be really exciting to do this podcast. I am a gear junkie. So literally when these microphones, we have two, like I said, when these came in, I was like a little girl screaming like, oh my gosh, it's finally happening. Because we have been waiting. We have been talking about doing this podcast ever since we got 1,000 subscribers.
Right.
Which is about
a year ago.
Yeah, almost a year ago.
7 or 8
months ago. So it's like, yeah, I'm really excited about this podcast. So,
Yeah, I'm
anyway.
excited too. Can't wait to meet some of your friends.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting dynamic, that's for sure. So, anything else you want to talk about before we cut this bad boy short?
I just wish it get warmer, really, so we can get back out in the field. Get some more sessions in. It's been really cold lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to warm up and get out there. I've been itching to get out there, but it's like it's been so cold, and with it snowing and everything recently, it's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been all over the spectrum here, guys.
Yeah.
Southern Illinois is a monster when it comes to the weather.
It'll snow one day, melt the next day, rain the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look.
Feel 60 the next day.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a mess. So anyway, I think we pretty much covered all our bases. So thank you for those who have stuck with us during this live stream.
Those who stuck with us all along.
Yeah, all along. Thank you once again for the 2,000 plus subscribers. We're really excited to keep creating content for this channel. So please stay connected with us and watch the channel for more stuff. Watch out for Josh's content that will be coming hopefully this summer if possible. He's going to be doing, like we said, some shows for the channel as well. So hopefully, we'll be seeing that soon.
I promise. As soon as I get out of school.
Yeah, once he gets out of school.
Mm.
School's number one priority. Stay in school, kids.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We all hope you have a great day.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for the notification. And we'll catch up with you next time.
You want to say it with me? My catchphrase?
Which is, I can't remember.
Believe it.